everybody. I'm Andy.
I'm AJ.
I'm Tenilej.
And we are Surviving
Survivors.
Adulthood. So today we have a special guest. Her name is Nelli. And we have her here today to talk about living in her dash. And if some of you guys haven't caught up on the previous series from Living in Your Dash, it is literally from the time you're born, your journey throughout your life until the day that you leave this earth. What does that look like to you? And we were just so inspired to have you on because some of the things that we've watched you've experienced and that you're doing in your everyday life. So, Tenille, kick us off and tell us more about Nelli.
Well, we have Nelli, like Andy mentioned. She is currently going to Cal State East Bay, going back to get that degree. And she's an entrepreneur. And so we're just so happy to have you on, sister girl.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. And so tell us a little bit about this school journey, going back to school and getting that degree. And what is the degree for?
Well, I have a love-hate relationship with school. I like to take my breaks. I like to go back when I get bored. And my life has been not your average, I guess you could say. Well, nobody's life is really average, but my family history and the things that I've went through at an early age and throughout life caused me to take sometimes big breaks, sometimes small breaks. So I'm going back to school to finish up. That was always my goal. Possibly want to return to get a master's, but right now I'm acquiring a degree at Cal State East Bay for business administration with the focus of entrepreneurship.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Everybody can't do it.
Man, school is annoying.
Girl,
but it's fun. It's fun. I like learning new things.
So with that being said, have you learned anything new on your entrepreneurial journey? Because when did you decide to major in that? Did the entrepreneurship journey come first and then you decided that you wanted to major in that? How did that come together?
Well, I'm half Filipino, so all Filipinos want their daughters, their sons, their whole entire family. They want them to be nurses or in the medical field. I tried that. I wanted to be, at first, I want to say like in elementary, it was always, I aspired to be a teacher or a vet, always in positions of helping people. So then came in high school, I wanted to be a psychologist or a nurse. After high school, I started going to school for nursing. I went to Napa Valley College, community college. I couldn't catch on with that because I had my son. I had him in high school, my senior year of high school. He actually graduated with me. And then I tried to do that, but the position that I was in didn't allow me to really focus on that. I was in an abusive relationship and I was a young single mom. Then after I tried Napa Valley, I went to a private school, and there it was a nursing degree, vocational nursing, and I planned to go back to get my RN after I got my vocational because I needed to start work being a single mom of an infant child. That didn't work because the private school pretty much just took all my money and they didn't have any structure. Like the rotations of how many instructors came through there. There was at one point in time where the instructors were arguing with each other down the hall. And I'm like, how is this you're supposed to be prepping us as little sprouts into people who are supposed to be helping the world, and you guys are arguing down the hall. How am I supposed to focus? So me being the person that I am, I want to say a dominant personality, I would challenge. I like to challenge things just because I want to know the span of rationale behind people's thoughts and stuff and why things are the way that they are. Like, I like to see both sides, all sides of the hexagon, if you want to call it that. So I tried that, didn't work out, dropped out of nursing school, Some people would say I got kicked out, but we won't go there. That's
when we used to all have our scrubs on. Look, she like sip of that. But yes, we all used to have on scrubs because I used to go to medical school too.
I remember.
Medical billing and coding.
Yeah, I remember.
Girl.
So after that,
then private schools, be careful.
Huh?
Those private schools, be careful because a lot of them take your money. And
it was almost $40,000. I think got a house, new car.
I didn't get like a job in that field or nothing, but I got the certificate. But
check that off the list. Okay, and then after that, I decided that I wanted to be. I live here in Fairfield, and I didn't want to go to Solano because I felt like it was a 13th year of high school. So I went to Contra Costa College, and let me tell you, some say I would be like whitewashed or whatever because I grew up Travis Air Force Base. My parents military. My mom's Filipino, strict Catholic, traditional. When I went to CC, I was like, I ain't never seen so many Black people at the school. In school in general, I was surprised just because I grew up in a predominantly white. I grew up on Travis Air Force Base, so I was surprised. I took to it. I was listening to everything that my teachers taught me, and they kind of put it in perspective as far as like education goes and tying it into society and what you can do with it and how you can apply what you're learning to your everyday path. So that's when I decided that I wanted to go to school for business because I didn't want to be bossed around by anybody. I wanted to be my own boss. So that's what actually, CC is actually the school that I came up with the idea for She's Wet for.
I'll see. Look at that.
I did good, huh?
What's that?
What's what?
She's Wet. Can you go
She's
into that?
Wet is my brand. I based it off of a community of strong women who at times need some pushes because there's been a lot of times where I leaned on my cousin for a lot, just going through what we go through. And being that we all kind of grew up with each other, I started to see the trend in how much of a different lifestyle, but yet the same types of issues that we all face. And I just wanted to build a brand that when you see the brand, you recognize it as a community of strong women who are sticking together, who don't talk down on each other, who support each other through whatever, right or wrong. They're going to sit there and tell you what you're doing wrong. They're going to help you, but they're also still going to let you explore your own path and make your own mistakes. So we're all here to support each other through life.
How did you come up with that though? So like what made you say, this happened? Was it like a certain situation? Because you said that it's the patterns that you've seen, that different people that you knew or different women that you knew were having some of the same issues, although you guys were living different lives. So was it something in particular that sparked She's Wet?
The way that I came up with the logo idea first. So I said, I want something that, of course, it'll be blatant out there in front of your face. Oh, that's for women. That is for me. I identify with just that logo itself. But I also wanted to be a topic of conversation, like a conversation piece. So being that I'm an island girl, I love being around water, I love beaches. I went alongside, and then we're in the Bay Area, so we're surrounded by water.
Right.
But I also, it was a double entendre wordplay of women's physiology. So I don't know. Do you want me to explain that, or
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Nobody wants to be dry, so you gotta stay wet.
Right. And I also think of it as like when I first heard it, it just made me think about like I guess like the slang terminology when people be like, "Oh, those wet," like
that was around the same time.
You know, like Like,
Yes.
damn, she's wet all the time.
So exactly. The term wet is derived from the Bay Area slang. And everybody catches on to Bay Area slang. So I thought it would be something that that stuck. Then I started sketching the logo, had little drips here and there. And that's how I came up with it.
So you hand drew that yourself. That came from you.
The original logo I didn't hand draw this, no. So it's the she with the waves.
Okay.
And I didn't want it to stand out. I didn't want to put she's wet on there, because anytime I would tell people like what I was doing with the brand, they'd be like, oh, you need to change that. That's inappropriate. I'm just like, so don't look a hater. Don't be mad.
Right.
Right. Keep it going.
I just drew, I wanted she to be in bold.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of sketched it, and it was just like little drips at first. I threw the idea out with my graphic designer, and she played with it for about a month or two and came up with this. And the first person I sent it to was ding, 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 Andy.
I was like, oh, yep, I need one. When can I?
She was like, oh, that's nice.
Right. It's always good to have supporters.
Yeah.
Yes, near or far. Gosh, I had a question that left my mind. But so along this journey, what has it taught you? Because like you mentioned earlier, you've, I guess, dealt with some crazy things in the beginning before adulthood and during adulthood. And so what are some of those journeys that has, I don't know, I guess, helped you drive your entrepreneurship or entrepreneur business?
Well, looking back now, I honestly think the death of my sister, the death of my father, and just me being a single mom and seeing my niece and nephew being raised by the whole entire village. I want, for one, like I said, I just want to be my own boss, because I'm just like that. So I wanted to build a brand, build a business that helps women in similar situations or in similar circumstances, but also do it for my kids, because I need them to have something to fall back on growing up.
What do you mind sharing some of those situations or circumstances that you have experienced that you know that other women might have gone through that made you put this whole company together?
Ooh. That's deep. My sister died in high school. She was going through not an ideal, I don't want to go too deep into that, but she wasn't
you don't have to.
in an ideal relationship. She had my nephew and my niece, and at the time I was 17. I had my kid at 17. And this was right after I graduated high school, yet to turn 18. My kid was 6 months. Her youngest, which is my niece, was 2 weeks before she turned 1. And she passed in her sleep. So that's one thing that I had a lot of issues. But at the same time, I was going through an abusive relationship with my son's father. And I didn't move back into the house until that following January, because we tried to live together. I was going to school at Napa Valley College. I was working. We had our child. And at that point, it was just, it wasn't working. He asked me to move out. So I moved out January 1st of 2009. And I always say that was, no, I don't want to say it. I always say that was the second most proudest day of my life, aside from my son being born.
Hey, it was like, thank you. No shade.
Like,
but thank you. Like,
yeah.
I needed that push for you to, that to happen like that. So
yeah. So after that, I just felt like a weight had been lifted, but at the same time, he felt like he just wanted his space back. So me moving out would be a step in the right direction to get past whatever we were going through, which was, I don't know what his perspective on our relationship was, but my perspective was that it was toxic. So that's why I was like, if we can't live together, we both have jobs, I'm going to school, and our son, if we can't build a family while we're living together, what makes you think that we can continue if this is what it's going to be like in the future? If this is where it's at in the future, we're living together, we both have jobs, I'm going to school, we're bettering our lives, so to speak, and you want me to move out and you want me to still be with you? And I was just like, hello, no.
Yeah.
If I'm moving out, we're breaking up, and that's it.
Some people deal with things like that though, so.
Yes.
And to be so young, like, this is all before you're 20.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm a Scorpio. He was a Leo, and I just told y'all that I don't like being bossed around. And y'all Leos, I don't know.
Leos, yeah, they are bossy.
Man,
they are bossy. I have a brother and a sister, both Leos. Bossy. I thought I was bossy, but they bossy.
Oh yeah, they mean well, but it's just like I don't. And they're so nonchalant. Like,
mm-hmm.
I need you to at least engage in conversation.
Right. Well, I mean,
I said I don't know anything about Leos.
Oh yeah, I mean, but you're
right.
I don't
know
though.
If you want to know,
Zodiac.
Right. But you're right, Nelly. Like that is, I mean, people do have experienced losses and they experience toxic relationships, and so I mean, usually that puts a fire under anyone asses to move forward and do better. I checked out your website and I was impressed. I was like, oh, this looks so good. Not only did it look good, but it had a lot of information on there, and I didn't realize that you're really out there in the community. So I seen that. I mean, now we're quarantined, and so we're stuck inside. But can you speak to some of the community events that you?
God bless you.
Thank you.
would be a part of or have been a part of?
I like to get involved. Again, this is my experience at Contra Costa College. I had a teacher, Professor Carolyn Hodge, that I still remember. I know you remember her, Andrea.
I got scared when you said her name. She don't play.
She don't. She's strict, but she means very well, and she teaches you a whole hell of a lot about life. I took her
for her African American
studies, history.
I kept the book. Her class was so good. Like, she definitely put fire under your butt, but you take away so much from that class, and even really just learning how to be a woman and how to carry yourself. She kind of like that older auntie figure.
Yes. Yes.
She not gonna play. She wants you to do her work. If you can't do it, you need to communicate it. Like,
hey, I know, I miss her. A part of her curriculum was that you would have to go to these events for your cooperative credit, your class cooperation. And she would make you go to Native American events. She would make you go to African American events. She would make you go to all types of events. So that kind of got me out there into just being a part of the community a little bit more, and then helping out some of those events and stuff. But that taught me to create our own coat drive. So I'm pretty sure that's what you've seen on my website. And I also I need to update it. I'm really bad at my website. It's very outdated.
It's not that outdated though. It's not that outdated though, because even like the event that Andrea and I was going to go to at, what was it, UC Berkeley, but it was canceled due to COVID-19. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, no.
There's a bulletin board on my actual website, and I like to put up events around the Bay Area, all the way from San Jose, Sacramento, to San Francisco, Hayward. I try to put women's empowerment events on there so that you can take a look at what you have in your area and what, as far as like there's business events, there's dance, there's poetry. I try to put that on there, but it's so hard to keep up while I'm in school. And then us being distant learning, they put a whole bunch of extra stuff on me, so I'm dealing with that.
There you go.
Right, all right there.
Right.
So I try to stay active in the community. So the coat drive we came up with, I'm not a nonprofit, but I did want to do something to give back. So we spent our own time and our own money collecting coats from businesses around the Bay Area, ranging from Fairfield to Oakland, and we asked them to help us collect coats. And in return for that, they would get their business broadcasted with all the other businesses in the Bay Area, just rebuilding the community. So different businesses would collect coats. And this past December, we kind of made it into a competition where I would announce like who was in the lead with how many coats, so, to make it fun a little bit. And I decorated the box. So I think this upcoming December 2020, I'm going to have a box decorating competition.
Yes.
So see who has the most
excited.
Festive box.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and then after we collected all the coats, a group of volunteers and I went to all the hot spots in the different areas, like alongside of the freeway. Because again, we're not a nonprofit, so we did what we can with asking people for donations as far as like boxes and bags and label makers or Sharpies, stuff like that. Collected the coats and actually filled up our cars and drove from hot spot to hot spot to hot spot. And it took all day.
Right.
Some of the times it was raining, it was on and off raining. So we were out there.
Right.
We were out there.
This year we actually went literally from Fairfield. Janelle started in Fairfield, made her way to Richmond. We went from Richmond to Oakland, and then was like,
Berkeley.
You know what? Oh yeah, we went to Berkeley.
And then on the side of the freeway.
Along the freeway, went to Oakland, and then was like, you know what? We still have more coats.
Oh my gosh.
And that's really good though. That's a good problem to have though.
Right,
Yeah.
it was. Yep. So it was good.
Can I tell y'all a secret? I still got like a bag or two in the box.
But it's good. It's like keep them with you. Keep them in the car. I try to keep stuff in my trunk now. Like ever since you came to me with that idea, I was like, okay, now I gotta always have, whether it's a case of waters or something in my trunk, somebody in need. Like, and the kids know, so that's a good thing that you started, because now they be like, can we give them a blanket or something? Like,
yes, we definitely have the kids out there because our kids are annoying at times, and we want to teach them, like, you guys have it so good. I know y'all lives ain't what y'all see on TV, but y'all still got it good.
Right. Yep.
They were grateful though. They didn't complain. I remember you telling me like you didn't hear a complaint not one time. They were helpful.
That's really good.
They were taken aback by it at first though. They were standing around like, oh my God.
Right.
But it was good for them to see.
Right. That life is not fair sometimes.
Because you see a lot of little stuff, you know, like when you just get out there, you would be like, wow. Or, you know, like when you up close and personal. So
I think the best part about that was seeing the people that we were helping, their faces and their smiles, and how they were just excited to get a scarf or a beanie. They were just like, it was Christmas for them.
So what else do you have planned for She's Wet? You know, because like Andy mentioned, it's all about, this series is all about, you know, making change and telling us what you have going on and how you are basically executing, I guess, your goals and dreams during this time.
Where I want to take it, I had someone tell me, because I looked along the lines of being in competition eventually with Victoria's Secret Pink because they have their activewear. But somebody told me that is a possibility, but they see me more along the lines with, like, what's that fitness apparel line? Bombshell or Shark, that one Shark, Gymshark. So those specific activewear lines, because I am training to be a personal fitness trainer, a fitness coach.
Nice.
I actually do train right now. I have a few clients. Again, I like to help people. I didn't realize that I've always been into fitness, like from high school. I used to play softball, and my coach was a former bodybuilder. So he would have us out there in the gym with the football players, lifting, squatting, kicking them off the machines and stuff, because they was BSing. Me at little 16, 17 years old, kicking the football players off like, y'all ain't doing nothing. So, so that's where I'm at with it. I have a passion for fitness. I wanted to design my activewear for women who may not be as confident, like, because they walk into the gym, they're intimidated by all these football players or bodybuilders, heavy lifting, and they're just starting out. But I wanted them to feel comfortable, not having to tug here and there.
Right.
Just be free flowing and just worry about your workout. That's what you're there for. Focus, worry about your workout. You feel comfortable. You resonate with the brand ideas and the goals. So that's the goal for that.
Okay. And so beyond the activewear, what else do you see She's WETT?
As far as what I currently do now, I just want to expand my horizon with the community, with I Am Me. That's a part of, my cousin is a part of a nonprofit.
I'm the cousin.
Hi, cousin.
I'm like, okay, let's make this plain.
I'll let her introduce the nonprofit and tie into that. But the I Am Me is designed for women like us to kind of guide the youth into not making the same wrong decisions, help them not take all these big gaps like I have done, and just get to it, get in, get out, get done, and get ahead, like DeVry or whoever that was. But yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
But yeah.
Get ahead. Yep.
Aren't you tired of sitting on the couch? I used to love it. That's really
Right.
good. You guys are involved in the community, and I've actually been to one of the events, and it is definitely very meaningful. So you kind of touched on different things that you're doing. So to put it all together, you're living in your dash, and I want you to elaborate, but I just want to see if I got it all. So your story is how you are living in your dash. You pretty much got it out the mud from what I'm hearing, and you're starting to turn that around and create your own business and continue to stay connected to the people that mean the most to you, like your community, your family.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things do you see in the near future, and like by the end of the year, what kind of things do you want to accomplish?
By the end of the year, hopefully, because this COVID just took a turn for my timing with getting my bachelor's in science, business administration. Hopefully I'll be graduating. If not December, then at the end of the school year, next year in the spring. And by that time, I picture myself further along with the attire and going I eventually want to do swimsuits because, you know, you got to stay wet. You got to go swimming and touch the water and all that other good stuff. Right?
I can't wait. I'm like,
look at Janelle. She's imagining herself on the beach.
Like, on the beach.
Okay.
I imagine myself about to go run some more. That's what I'm imagining.
Myself
and staying active. Yes, absolutely staying active. I want to be a mentor, a part of the I Am Me project. But I just want people to feel like, I just want women, younger women and older women, no matter what age, it doesn't matter. My brand is for all colors, all ages, all sizes. We don't discriminate because that's not the goal. That's not who we are. We're here. We're all women. We all have feelings.
Right.
We all go through some things, but we're all here to support each other because we should all be understanding of that. So again, I'll have my certificate and be an official fitness coach. I just started another business venture. It's called Forex. I don't know if y'all knew about the foreign exchange trading currencies. I just started that. So I'm excited about that. It's passive working money. This is what I'm learning in school also. So I decided to just dive right into that. Passive working money. You work from your phone. You enter in a few numbers here and there, forecast whether the market's going up or going down, buy low, sell high, make your money while you're sitting on your phone doing whatever. And that is I'm going to use those funds towards my business with getting new apparel and possibly maybe owning a fitness studio. So we'll see.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And I'm doing a lot.
But you can do it.
Right. Exactly.
But you can do it. And we're part of your community too, so you can definitely do it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I definitely, that's another thing with the community that I'm trying to build. I have my downturns. I suffer from depression. So like the fitness lifestyle is what helps me get out of that. But I also, when I'm not feeling my best, I'll go look through my page at the women that I posted and the women who comment, and I'm just like, okay, you guys are dope. Like, you guys help me out.
Right.
Oh, amen. Thank you.
To motivate me.
Empowering women.
Yeah.
Look. Oh, now I gotta do my heart messed up. There we go. Oh, there we go.
My heart's beating.
And it's over my shirt that I got. Next time I'll wear a She's Wet shirt. But
okay. How can they beat you if they cannot work you? Where'd you get that from?
So D Marsh. I'll put the comment below. So I was like, okay.
He was actually one of the coaches at CC while I was there.
Oh wow! See, look at that. Full circle.
Full circle.
Full circle. So, thank you so much for joining us. For living in your dash.
Let the people know how to find you.
You can find me on Instagram at shes.wett, SHES.WETT. I need to be more active on Twitter at shes_wett, SHES_WETT. Facebook at She's Wet, and sheswet.com.
Yes, don't forget about that website. We'll make
Click the link in bio.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll add all the links below.
Yes. Follow our viewers. Thank you for watching. This is another edition of Our Living in Your Dash. And stay tuned for more details to come. Bye, ladies.
Bye.